Let's go into my 2024 predictions. By the way, my favorite icons I've been used for this, so I hope you are going to be as entertained as I was when I found them. So 2024 predictions. So let's talk about 2023. What did we see this year? The biggest theme of the conversation since COVID has been inventory. We have had not enough inventory for the types of demand, the amount of buyers that have been out there. And ever since about a year and a half ago, in July of 2022, that's when interest rates started to shoot up like crazy. So what ended up happening is that all of these sellers, all of these potential sellers, they got refinanced before that high interest rate hike happened. So you have all of these sellers locked into these like really, really low rates in the 2 to 3%. And when the interest rates started to pop off into the high 6s and 7s, it made all these sellers back off and hold on to their homes. So this inventory shortage is really due to how many sellers are not choosing to sell. But buyers, they are now not able to find the right opportunities, and that is why you're seeing an increase in pricing, and that is also a major issue in affordability. Now, a lot of buyers turned into renters last year because they couldn't find a house, which then what does that do? It increases the rental rates, so everything just got more expensive, and it's this possibly infuriating time in real estate, because typically high interest rates means buyers fall off, means that prices go down, but just because of the general laws and rules of economics, supply and demand. When you don't have enough supply for the demand, you're still going to have heightened prices. And so there's still too many buyers for the amount of product that's out there, and that's why Chicago actually has led the nation this year in home price growth. It's true. Chicago has been the #1 price leader. There's a few different reasons for that, not just because of the points that I was talking about, but during COVID, I'm sure you heard about all of those crazy prices on the coast, all of these hot areas that were getting insane valuations that made no sense. Chicago, I love it. It's steady Eddie. We keep our heads on our shoulders. And yes, we saw price increases, but we kept it steady. We didn't go too crazy. So where a lot of places started to see pullback, Chicago just kept valuations continuing because we never got overvalued. That's super important. All right, now what does 2024 look like? So if you've been following, the Fed is one of the main indicators on where interest rates are going to go. And yesterday they met, and for the second time they signaled that they believe inflation has been handled in the way that they like, and they're done increasing their baseline rate. And they actually also said they plan to decrease their rate for 3 times in 2024. So what does that mean? Their rate doesn't necessarily give you the mortgage rate, but mortgage rates do feed off of what the Fed rates begin with. So we're going to start to see, and we've already seen, a decrease in the interest rate environment. Now, I've actually seen some 6% interest rates coming in the last little bit. That's much better than the mid to high 7s that we've been seeing. And I've also started to see a real awakening in the market, where a lot more buyers are starting to come out. But the problem is that we still have an inventory problem. And until sellers find that delta of where the interest rates are low enough for them to be able to give up their extra low rates to then be able to move on to the next house, we're still going to have an inventory issue. I do think that it's not going to outweigh the demand, so we're still going to have a heightened increase valuation for the first 2 quarters of this year. So you're going to start to see prices jump up. So if you're actually in the market, I don't think there's a better time to buy from now to, let's call it, end of January, because yes, you might get a bit of a higher interest rate, but you're going to be able to appreciate all of that price growth over the next 6 months. Also, don't forget, next year is an election year. So the second half of the year, everybody's going to take a bath. Everyone's just going to take a nap and relax. So there's going to be probably a pullback from both buyers and sellers. So it's going to be a very quiet second half of next year. That is my 2024 prediction. I can go over that a little bit more in person if you would like, but overall, lower interest rates, still a tight inventory, and heightened prices. That's my overall prediction.